What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you a, I don't really know what to call this. We'll call this attack strategy video. Um, but I wanted to get through some talking points of basically different kinds of air attacks. Um, Very uncommon that we had, uh, let's take a look. We had three different air attacks on the same base. And again, it's not taken away from the attackers. It's just let's look at the raids. There was small, subtle differences that would have made the three, and each one was slightly different. So we're talking about number 15, and the first one to hit that, I believe, where's that at? Right there, crazy moving. So we'll go to replay number 2. Okay, so before we get started, um, I usually don't go this late in war, but the war started wicked late at night, so unfortunately I couldn't get um, my first attack into the next morning, and all the nines were cleared out. So this is a 9.5, true and true. It doesn't have 3 expos, and crazy not moving as he goes in here. Fresh hit going in. He's gonna do some sort of like the Andy, a logo wipe. I'm sorry, wipe. Go bolo basically, or however you want to say that. A shattered entry. He puts the healer on the golem here, and he's gonna wait for that cannon to go down before he sends his second golem, which is really nice because it keeps the nice spread of golems right there. You see how they're both set, basically opening up the wall here. It keeps his nice wide spread on his funnel coming in. But his main attacking force are loons, and that's my baby in the background. So that's what we're going to talk about. The main attacking force: baby dragons versus dragons versus loons. EQ's on in here, which is not bad, and standard stuff with the poison and things like that. It's really not what we want to focus on for the video. What he's aiming for are 3 defenses. So whenever you're using a mass dragon attack, you got to account for the air defenses or just air attacks in general. You have to account for the air defenses. So as part of his kill squad, he's going to get everything except that air defense, I believe, or maybe it's the one down here. Yeah, so he's waiting for once this. Yeah, this is the one he's gonna miss. So looking at, if we pause right here, Queen, after this compartment opens up, Queen's heads to the left, which is part of what he wants to get that air defense. Once it goes down, he's going to sprinkle in and the sweepers are gone because she'll get that as well. Then he'll just sprinkle in the loons around the outside. This air defense stays up. Part of the reason, because this could have cleared, is this wall piece right here. You'll see it when the next raids come through, the difference that has right there. But wasn't a bad idea. However, small difference would have made the 3. What I really wanted to focus on with this was the slow-moving loons. So loons are great, really, really are, for a lava loon or a gola loon, however you want to say that. I call them LaLos, but they're really slow. And the awesome thing about them is that they're beefy enough coming in that they can usually tank whatever is needed in order to get to their main objective. And on the way down, they do about 160 DPS. I think it's about that, or maybe it's 100 or 80. At any rate, they do damage on the way down as they die. But the main issue is you have to bring a spell for them. They're really slow, and when you're usually chasing the clock come the other end. So if you end your loons over here, you must keep one cleanup, loon or wizard, because of this ring over here. He's got 2 wizards working the back end. So looking at this with loons, this almost would have cleared, but it had to do with this wall piece and the air defense staying up. And you guys got to see how slow that the loons were moving, trying to catch up to this air defense, and he had a haste for them, and it just wasn't enough to get the job done. No disrespect out to Crazy Moving. Alright, so let's take a look at the second attempt on this. And we'll go down some. It might be the 3rd, but I think it was the 2nd. Boss was a walk. Hog attack. It was Quay. Yep. Oh, yeah, here we go. So there's the loons. Let's take a look. Now, Quay is going to do a dragon attack. There was an attack before this that did an AQ walk hog attack. It just ran out of time because it took too long to develop, or it ran out of gusto. One or the other. So Koi's going to do a walk, and he's going to basically get this section right here, get the air defenses on this side, um, and he's going to create a path for his dragons. So again, the things about dragons is they're like a little bit more than baby dragons, two baby dragons combined. So for 20 troop space, you get about 2,500 hit points, or even 3,000 hit points on level 4, I think, is something like that. And they do 300 damage per attack, which is very different than damage per second. They do level 4. Oh my gosh. Level 4, I forgot to take the notifications off. Sorry about that. Level 4 dragons do 200 damage per second, which means because of their rate of fire being so slow, that 300 damage per attack is really felt like 200 damage per second. But really, they're doing 300 per breath. They just don't, they take a little bit longer than a second to get that breath out, which is going to be the important when I come to the baby dragons. They're also really slow, and because they take twice as much troop space, I can take only half as many dragons. As we see this start to develop here, he's got a nice little funnel going on with his royal at the top there, and then he's going to create a runway for his dragons, and he has 5, is it total? 5 total dragons, maybe 6, and I think he has a hound in the CC for the back end, a little bit of loons here. But you want it, 7 dragons total, I think is what it is. But they created a nice little runway for his royals to aim towards. I think he opened up this wall and the BK just didn't go there. You do want them clumped together like this to have, because each one fires at a different attack rate. Like one would take when one's not attacking, the other one might, and so you keep that attacking force together like that, smooth coming through, like is what you want. But look, as there's too many structures left up, and yeah, they're tanky and beefy like that, but you chase the clock. With these, you usually chase the clock. The dragons their attack rate is slow, their speed is slow, and the loons are slow. So right base, each one has its place. So sorry about that. So we'll go to _2. I should finish this up before it gets too long. So I believe that baby dragons are probably the most, and he almost had it here. He just ran out of time. I believe that baby dragons are probably the most undervalued, not just for defense CC, but as a main attacking force. So I think, everybody knows them as defensive, but offensively, besides funnels, they're really effective. So we're going to do a little bit similar entry that Crazy Movin' did, except I'm going to get this tile piece right here because I do want my kill squad to head this way and leave this air defense for the end, because I figured once they clear all this out, they're going to reroute, and she could, given that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the 5th tile piece away, that she'll get in there and be able to get it at the end, as long as I deploy my dragons correctly. So a little bit similar entry, like I said. Got a little baby dragon down here, but the pros of the baby dragon, which some people don't know, is they're about half the hit points and half the troop space of a mature dragon, and their damage per second is only like 80 or 90 or something like that. When they're enraged, they do twice as much. So an enraged baby dragon does about 180 damage per second. The thing that's missed, which is not enough as a mature dragon, however, what's missing out of this equation is they speed up their attack rate, which makes that 180, it's actually damage per attack, become a lot more damage per second. The other part is that because I have many of them, I have twice as many as mature dragons. I'm going to have to zoom out so you guys see how I did this. You can spread them out more and basically have a swarm effect. So seeing how like the top right up here, all this uncovered trash, all you really need to worry about is the air defenses. These archer towers and things like that, I really don't even care about them, because the swarming effect that is as we zoom back in just a little bit, the swarming effect that's done, and I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dragons here, but you can see how they all swarm in and they leave the last air defense here. But I think how they're undervalued is that when they're under rage, they do a lot more damage per second than a mature dragon, and because you have many of them, you can swarm the threats coming to them quicker than you would a mature dragon that just basically slowly ogre its way on over to it, eventually getting to it. I just find that there's less risk. Yes, you have Black Sams to worry about that will take out a single baby dragon, but you have that to worry about with mature dragons as well. So anyway, I say experiment with mass baby dragons anytime you're thinking about doing a dragon attack, or even a logo wipe, or go bolo. Whenever you're thinking about that, think twice about, maybe I can use mass baby dragons as my main attacking force on the back end, because they're quicker than loons. They do more. They do about as much damage per second, or a little bit more than a mature dragon, as long as you keep them separated and employed correctly and under rage, and their swarming effect is they usually overwhelm the last remaining threats to them. So hopefully those tips and talks through an illustration of these 3 different attack styles was helpful for you. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you gotta be better than a double, and I will check you next time.